Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Don't just throw a tailgate. Own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. My wife and I sat down with Harlan Mitchell and discussed our own estate planning needs. I know in our experience, Harlan brought up questions that caused us to think about our current situation and what we need to do moving forward. When you sit down with Harlan for your free consultation, you're going to find out things that you may have not thought about when it comes to estate planning. I encourage you to go to BamaEstatePlanning.com or give Harlan Mitchell a call at 256-216-9884 and schedule your free consultation today.
Experience the difference at Athens Bible School. The vision and purpose is to provide each student a quality education in a Christ-centered environment to develop the whole person spiritually, mentally, physically, and socially in safe and supportive surroundings. The solid biblical foundation permeates learning and culture in the classrooms and every extracurricular activity.
Hey everybody, this is Daryl Worley, and you're listening to The Mark White Show. Hey, step up and make a difference like he does.
This old world is full of hurt and pain. A little sunshine and a whole lot of rain. It don't take much to drive those clouds away. Let's all do something good today. You never know what someone's going through. Don't underestimate what you can do. A friendly smile's a tiny price to pay. Let's all do something good today.
Over the weekend, my family and I traveled to Guin and Winfield, Alabama to cover a couple of special events. The first that took place was in Guin, Alabama, and it was a fundraiser for Larry Harris, who is currently battling brain cancer. It was a car show and cruise, and it was highly successful, raising over $8,000 for the Harris family. While in Guin, I had the opportunity to meet Mayor Phil Segraves, mayor of Guin, and I asked Mayor Segraves to share with me what this special event meant to him, watching his community and the surrounding area come together.
You know, Larry asked the question, why are they doing this for me? You know, Larry gave to us through his service, through a Vietnam veteran. He also was an auxiliary police officer, and he served over 30 years as a volunteer fireman, and still active as a fireman. Of course, his cancer has sidelined that at the moment. Larry didn't ask for this. He didn't ask for definitely not the cancer, but he didn't ask for this day, and was overwhelmed by that. You know, we were actually worried whether he would let us do this, and we're so thankful that he did. So people all the time say, what can I do? And today they had a chance. We've had a couple of events downtown and used this location. It's been very successful, and we're going to continue to use this location for future events. The stage was bought and built for that reason, to give people a chance to come together, and I think they did today. It's been extremely hot, but yet they still came out.
We see a lot of red T-shirts around here today, and they say Guin Fire and Rescue, and there were so many people from the fire department who've come out to support this effort, to support their brother, somebody who served, Larry Harris.
Yes, and we got, as you said a while ago, support from the surrounding area as well. And I'm so thankful that the Guin folks came together, but also the people in the surrounding communities were here as well. And that always makes you feel good when we can come together. As they say, forget the Friday night lights, and this is much bigger than that. You know, sometimes as elected officials, we forget that we're public servants. We're elected in the servant role, and we need to fulfill that as well, which is being part of your community, part of the people that make up your community. And we are one of them, and they're one of us. And I think when you have that opportunity, you need to seize the moment and bring folks together. And as I said, what Larry has in his battling is much larger than any of the problems that we may deal with on a day-to-day basis from an elected official. One person told me one time, says, if money can fix it, you don't have a problem. And so when you look at it in that way and say what Larry's battling, and you know, what would he give not to have it, for sure. But he's never acted bitter about it, and he's not questioned, you know, why do I have this? So we want to help Larry be strong as we can and help him through this.
My friend Hilda Smith, who helped organize the event for Larry Harris and his family, was unable to attend because of knee surgery, and I did want to give Hilda a shout-out as she recovers from home, and I mentioned Hilda in my conversation with Mayor Segraves.
Yeah, Hilda's a rare person for sure, and she's got a servant's heart as well, and you see that every day. And I want to thank my folks, the Guin Fire Department, the Guin Police Department. They were out as well as the other policemen from the other communities that we went through with our crews, our firemen for sure, and the staff in the city hall that works with me. So it was totally street department, everybody, a total effort. And I'm real tickled that you're here today, and you know how to say Guin. That's what's wonderful. Most mispronounced town in America. So it's a special treat for us to have you here as our guest.
Folks, that was Mayor Phil Segraves, mayor of Guin, Alabama, as we talked about the special event that took place over the weekend for Larry Harris and his family. We appreciate the support of the Guin community as well as the surrounding area. When we come back, we're going to be in a neighboring city, Winfield, Alabama, to talk to Jill Spann, who is the area director of Neighborhood Bridges Winfield. I was able to catch up with her at the Icey Gator owned by the Tilley family and talk about this very special effort. The Icey Gator decided that they would take Saturday and use it as a fundraiser for neighborhood bridges. So we appreciate the Tilley family for wanting to do that for this special organization. I hope you'll stick with us for that conversation with Jill Spann. You are listening to The Mark White Show, and I'm your host, Mark White.
Something good today. A little wink, a pat on the back, a big old hug, a little laugh. We can make a difference. All we have to do is try. Yeah, every day's a chance to change somebody else's life. Let's all do something good today.
Mr. Cecil Batchelor is the one that started this business as Dependable Service Center. And even though now it's Green's Dependable Hardware and we're a True Value store, our tagline is still Your Dependable Service Center. We've tried to keep that alive for all these years. Mr. Batchelor really started a good business. We're really excited to be carrying on a long-standing tradition. It's the oldest retail store in the city of Russellville. We're Green's Dependable Hardware, 15220A Highway 43 in Russellville, Alabama. We're right behind McDonald's or right across the street from the hospital. Number is 256-331-0123.
Your Dependable Service Center.
Do you look at your home or business and wonder what you can do when it comes to landscapes or hardscapes? Get in touch with my friends at JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Licensed, bonded, and insured, JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes offers new sod, irrigation, new flower beds, new mulch, blocks, stone, retaining walls, patios, and outdoor kitchens. Give JJ a call at 256-497-8263 or email at jjhardscapes@gmail.com. Now offering pool remodeling and new installs. That's JJ Brothers Hardscapes and Landscapes. Located in Tuscumbia, Alabama, the Alabama Music Hall of Fame honors Alabama's music achievers. You can even go into the recording studio and try out your talents as a singer. That's the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, located at 617 Highway 72 West in Tuscumbia, Alabama. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Give them a call at 256-381-4417. Check them out on the web at alamhof.org. Thompson Roofing and Construction is a locally owned family business serving the North Alabama and Southern Tennessee area. They are a Better Business Bureau A+ member since 2011 and a GAF Master Elite Contractor. Give them a call at 256-952-3309 or check them out on the web at 256roofing.com. They offer free inspections.
Thompson Roofing and Construction.
Is it time for a haircut? Go see my friends Philip Butler and B.H. Parker at Southwind Barbershop, located at 1637 Lee Street in Rogersville, Alabama. Give them a call at 256-247-5658. That's 256-247-5658.
Yay, after all this time, you're always on my mind.
Hi, this is Rodney Crowell, and you're listening to The Mark White Show, where making the difference in other people's life begins, and we all get on board and give it the best we can.
I still love you. To the city, works extra hard all day, finishes up early so he can get away, 'cause there's a blue-eyed kid on second base, wants dad to watch him play. Daddy.
Welcome back to the Mark White Show. We have moved the show from Guin, Alabama to Winfield, Alabama, and we are sitting outside at the Icey Gator and Cajun Connection owned by the Tilleys, and I have with me right now Jill Spann, and she is with Neighborhood Bridges Winfield. Welcome to the Mark White Show, Jill Spann.
Thank you, Mark White. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so glad that Lisa Tilley said I'm calling Mark White.
I know. That was her second. When I called about the fundraiser, the second sentence out of her mouth was, let's call Mark White. I said, call him. I don't know him, but you call him.
Well, after Lisa had messaged me about neighborhood bridges, I started doing a little research. I started looking into chapters even around in the state of Alabama, and then on the national level, trying to find out what the organization does, how they're helping people, what they're doing to make a difference. How did you find neighborhood bridges?
Well, a couple of years ago, the superintendent came, Chris Cook, he was the superintendent at that time, came to me and said, I need a favor. And I taught school for 34 years, so I knew him. And I said, okay, what do you need? And he said, I need an area director of neighborhood bridges. Will you do it? And I said, yes. What do I do? And he said, well, here's what we're going to do. So Rick Bannister is the guy in Ohio that started this. And it's all based on kindness, doing something kind for our students and their families. So we started, and everything we're able to do is done off donations. There's a steering committee. Our steering committee is a group of local pastors, our school counselors, our principals, and our superintendent now is Randy Tomley, and he's taken an active role in this, and he is all on board with us continuing neighborhood bridges. So that's how I kind of got started. And what we do is, if there's a need in one of the schools, like if a teacher sees a need of a student, she will go to the school counselor, and then the school counselor, what she does is we post the need. Now, people say, what do you mean you post a need? Well, to understand and know what the need is, you're a subscriber to our Winfield Neighborhood Bridges page. And if you go to winfieldneighborhoodbridges.org, you'll see a tab on there that says Communities. And you click on Communities, and you can see all the schools that are involved with this across the country. And you can click on Winfield, and if there is a need, like last week we posted a technology need. With school starting, kids were needing a little help. So once that need is posted, then an email is sent out to every subscriber. Now, the subscriber enters their email on the web page, and that's the only there's not emails sent out daily. It's not going to clog up your email. It's just to let you know, okay, and say the need. You get the email and it says a need's been posted. We need such and such at the middle school. Well, if it's on your heart to do that, you can click I will help. If you think, well, I'll wait till the next one, that's fine too. But over the past year and a half, 2 years, we have helped 22 families. We have bought clothes. We've bought snacks for after-school programs. We have helped when we've had a house fire one time that we helped with a family. We've bought small appliances. We've paid overdue power bills. And the purpose of today is to get our funds built back up. During COVID, I partnered with Foodland, and they were so good to help me, and we did food gift cards, and they would let me leave them there, and then I would call the family, and the family would go pick up their card and use it to buy whatever groceries or supplies they needed. Because during the pandemic, everybody was home, groceries were running low. And so to be able to do that after the pandemic, and then help with these items last year, small appliances, small refrigerator, it took a lot of our funds. So that's why today is so important. And I just can't thank Lisa, and I can't thank them enough for this, because this is a big deal. And you coming and getting the word out that Neighborhood Bridges is just to help people. That's what we want to do, help students and families in needs, because if kids are hungry or they don't have power at home, they cannot do their best at school. And I taught school for a long time, 34 years. So this program is near and dear to my heart because it's helping our students. And that's the whole purpose. And when we can help them and we can help their families, then that's what I want to be able to do. And that's why I want to get these funds built up, so that I don't ever have to tell anybody we just don't have it, And Winfield they have showed out with Neighborhood Bridges. If there is a need posted, I'm telling you, most every need that we've posted over the past 2 years has happened it's met in minutes, like minutes. And the technology need, I purposely left open last weekend because a lot of times I know people may not check. The need was posted on Friday. And I thought, oh, what if they don't check it till Monday morning? So I told the counselor, I said, I'm gonna let it run through the weekend. We got triple what we needed.
Wow.
Because people are so good. They're so kind. And that's just like today. You know, people have been sending me messages. I'm headed to Icey Gator. I'm headed to Icey Gator. I said, yay. So people like Lisa, there was no hesitation when I called her to even ask her, was it a possibility? It was yes. As far as students, I want to do it. So it's just, you know, and if we have a student that's sleeping on the floor, I want to be able to go buy my bed. I want to be able to buy big items, you know, as well as the small items. So it's just real dear to my heart that we provide these kids and their families with what they need. Because I think for them to be successful, they got to have groceries. They got to have power, you know. They got to have a good place to sleep. So that's why it's so important to me. And the teachers here are wonderful. You know, if they see a need, they're going straight to their counselors. The counselors are texting me, hey, or calling me, hey, here, we got this. Post it. So the way that people can, you know, one person can't fill every need.
Right.
But to make people aware that it is going on is just go to our page, WinfieldNeighborhoodBridges.org, click on Winfield Community, subscribe, just so that you know when there's a need. There was an email sent out Thursday to remind all the subscribers of today. Because, you know, the more subscribers we have, the more people that know. And the pastors have just been wonderful. The chief of police, he's on our steering committee. Our mayor is on our steering committee. So everybody, the city hall posted on their sign, you know, that went through. They announced at the ball game last night about this today. So it is a community involvement, and that's what I love. That's what I love about this community, is because they are so kind to these kids at school. And I think that's just speaks volumes for this town. And I want to help them however I can.
It's a very fitting name, Neighborhood Bridges, as you're talking about all the different elements, the people that are coming together. Mm-hmm. One of the key things that I heard you say, you talked about the superintendent being on board. Mm-hmm. Well, the Tillies are on board. Mm-hmm. The police chief's on board. The mayor's on board. Mm-hmm. You have Foodland on board. So it's about people coming on board mm-hmm. and finding out that Neighborhood Bridges exists, mm-hmm. and it exists in Winfield, Alabama. Because, for example, me not knowing until Lisa messaged me mm-hmm. and said, Neighborhood Bridges Winfield. Oh, okay, let me look this up.
Yes.
We need people out there listening right now to think about going to find Neighborhood Bridges, find out what the effort is about, mm-hmm. to get involved, to find out how they can help, to think about what do I do, what is my talent, what is my ability, mm-hmm. where I can step in and try to help be a part of this effort too.
Right. One thing that was real cool this summer, Rick Bannister, who started this, he lives in Ohio. Well, he flew to Alabama. And so while he was here, like he was going to all our schools around here that do Neighborhood Bridges, and he sent me a text and he said, hey, I'm going to Tuscaloosa, and I see you're not far. You want to set up a meeting with the steering committee? I said, yes, I would love that. So he came in this summer. He had come before when we initially started this. So the steering committee came, and I called Lisa. I said, can you do me a party pack of snow cones? I'm going to feed all these preachers something sweet. She said, yes. So we fed them snow cones because she had told me she would do it. So I got to announce that day about the fundraiser. And, of course, they were all very supportive and very excited. So we ate snow cones at our Neighborhood Bridges planning meeting. But it was neat for everybody to put a face to him, you know. And that's one thing. I can send him an email. Okay, got this. Okay, I'll get it right to you. You know, there's never hesitation. We have graphics department. I know some people have seen the posters around town. They made me a graphic. I was able to get my middle school librarian buddy, Sheila Peoples. I got her to make me a few posters and got those up in town. So I've had a lot of help. You know, like I say, people are just good. They're good. And so it's a good program. And I hope people will, you know, like you say, hop on and read about it. You know, we've got a write-up. There's a little write-up on our school webpage, too, on the Winfield City School webpage. There's a little article about it, and donate now, where you can
That's
donate.
great.
Yes,
That's helpful.
Donate now, and even people say how much. $20, y'all. It goes a long way. That'll buy a set of sheets for a twin bed. So any amount is so appreciated. I've had 2 people standing out here at Icey Gator today. Can I give you a check? Sure. I'll take checks. So they can get me a check. I can mobile deposit. They can donate on our website. And then people like you getting the word out, it's just really important. And I really think people come together when they know there is a need. And I think that's important in our little towns.
Absolutely. Right now, folks, we're talking to Jill Spann. She's the area director of Neighborhood Bridges Winfield. She is an educator of 34 years. Glad to have her here on the program today to talk about this special effort. We appreciate the Tillies at Icey Gator, Cajun Connection, for making this possible to raise funds for Neighborhood Bridges. What an outstanding business Icey Gator, Cajun Connection is, and the Tilley family to be so supportive of efforts. You've heard about other efforts that I've talked about here on the Mark White Show, and here Jill is today talking about Neighborhood Bridges and yet another opportunity for you to find a way to make a difference. And as Jill is talking and you listen and you know that there are students in schools right now who have needs that are not being taken care of, and sadly some of those needs at home that aren't being taken care of, and this is where Neighborhood Bridges steps in. And I'm glad that we can talk about this, Jill, that we can talk about this organization. And when we get it down to, as my granddad used to say, to where the cows eat the grass, we're talking about young people who have special needs.
Yes.
That these things are being taken care of, down to deodorant, soap, things that they need, hygiene products, clothing, all these various items. So if you're listening right now, you can picture a young person who doesn't have deodorant, doesn't have soap, doesn't have toothpaste, a toothbrush, dental floss, whatever you can think of. These are things where Neighborhood Bridges comes in and fills in the gap.
Well, I was so tickled last year. We had 2 of our local school clubs at the high school. FBLA, which is the sponsors, Carla Stovall, and we worked with her students on bringing in hygiene products. And what we did was we made baskets, and they were called Kindness on the Go baskets, so that students, when they did need the deodorant or they needed a toothbrush, they could just run up to the school nurse. Each school nurse on each campus was presented a basket, age appropriate, for a student that needed something quick, when really didn't have time to post the need. And, we wanted to be able to get it to them right then so they were not embarrassed. And so she partnered with us on that, and they also made a donation. So that helped us out last year. And Danielle Stocks, who is sponsor of the Key Club, they always make a donation. So we've got our Winfield High School students involved, and they're aware of what Neighborhood Bridges does, because they help put the baskets together, and they delivered them. We put pictures on our Facebook page. So, and we do have a Facebook page, Neighborhood Bridges Winfield. And we have an Instagram, so it's the same thing. So you can get information on all these social. That's how we get information out: email, social media. I just appreciate you so much coming today and doing this and making people aware of Neighborhood Bridges.
Very glad to do it. What is the email address, Jill?
Okay, they can go to our webpage, neighborhoodbridges.org, and there is a button that says Contact Us. They can go through there. They can send me a message on Facebook or anything. I've gotten several messages. Hey, what can I do? Well, how can I help? And I see people in Walmart. Do you need something? What do you need? So people are just so good. They're so good, and they've helped us out so much.
So neighborhoodbridges.org will take them to the central organization,
Yes.
and then it will be funneled down to Winfield if that's the area the person's in.
Yes. You'll see several schools around. There's a few in Tuscaloosa, a few in Birmingham, Haleville, and you just go through the list and find Winfield and click it, and it'll take you right to what you'll see. I think the needs that we've met, and if there's a need open, you'll see it, and then you'll get an email if you are a subscriber when a need is posted. So that's how that works.
I was very glad to see, as I think about where I live up in North Alabama, that there was a chapter in Ardmore. So it's Neighborhood Bridges Ardmore for people who are listening in that area, and look up chapters where you are. Type in Neighborhood Bridges, look and see if your city is on the end of Neighborhood Bridges. If it's not, then maybe that's something that should be brought to their community, right?
Yes, you need one. One thing, too, that we've started this year, and Icey Gator is our first sponsor, they decided for a donation of $500 or more, your business or your club, like if there's a civic club that wants to take Neighborhood Bridges under their wing, you're considered a sponsor, a partner. So when you go to Winfield, at the very bottom, you're going to see the Icey Gator logo. Well, if you click on that, it's going to go directly to their Facebook page, and it tells you their hours, and keeps you up to date on all what's going on at the Icey Gator.
Keeps you hungry.
Yes. So if it was a business and they had a web page or web link, then it would go to that. So there's huge sponsors in some of the bigger cities, and that's on the front page. But when you click on Winfield, our first sponsor is Icey Gator. So I was able to tell Lisa and them, I said, if y'all want to be a sponsor, you're in. And she said, okay, we do. So that means we're just a partner. So anybody else that wants to partner, that a business, I've got several that I'm talking to right now that I'm hoping and praying. And that's another thing. Like this morning, when there is a need posted, I pray over it and say, okay, Lord, guide my feet, show me what to do. So this morning I woke up and I thought, okay, it's Icey Gator Day, Lord. We need them coming. So, so it's a lot of a prayer and just kindness. People are kind. They are. And I appreciate it so much.
Jill Spann, it's been a pleasure to have you here on the Mark White Show, representing Neighborhood Bridges, representing your community here in Winfield. I hope that people will check out Neighborhood Bridges on a national level, on a community level here in Winfield, find out more about what you all are doing and join the team and be a part of this effort.
Well, I thank you so much, Mark, and it's so nice to meet you.
Great to meet you
and
too, Jill.
I hope we cross paths again.
I think we probably will.
We will too.
As I told you, Winfield, this area has kind of become my second home as people found out about what we're trying to do through the Mark White Show, recognizing difference makers and sharing their stories. And there's an abundance of stories in this area, and there are plenty of people who have needs, and the Mark White Show is here to try to help. So I'm glad to be able to sit here with you today. I'm thankful for the Tillies who got the ball rolling on me even being in this area, and one thing leads to the next. And I want listeners right now to think about that. If you take that first step, it's going to lead to another step. Sometimes we want to challenge ourselves. We question ourselves as to whether we should make this move. Sometimes just make the move. You made a move, Jill.
Yes, I got out of my comfort zone.
Yes, for this is a big thing to get out of your comfort zone. Even though you taught for 34 years and you dealt with children, it's completely different. And you had to take that step, and you're glad you did it.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm happy to do it, and I hope we will help lots and lots of students and families over the next year.
I think you will. Folks, here on the Mark White Show, we're recognizing difference makers and sharing their stories to encourage and inspire, and I hope you're encouraged and inspired by this show today. We appreciate difference makers like Jill Spann. You can follow the Mark White Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and subscribe to the Mark White Show podcast via Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Audio Boom, SoundCloud, Blueberry, and YouTube. You have been listening to another edition of the Mark White Show from Guin and Winfield, and this is Mark White encouraging you to find your purpose by making a difference in someone's life today.
Who live and love in my hometown. These are my kind of people.
Boutique Air in Muscle Shoals, Alabama offers direct flights to Atlanta and Pensacola. Boutique Air service runs twice daily, 7 days a week, with fares starting at $59. Follow Boutique Air Muscle Shoals on Facebook at Boutique Air MSL and book your flight through boutiqueair.com. Boutique Air,
where you can fly private for the cost of commercial.
Don't just throw a tailgate, own the tailgate with a Bojangles Big Bow Box. Because only Bojangles puts tailgate-ready fresh, never frozen, honey barbecue or buffalo bone-in wings with fall-off-the-bone juiciness right in the pocket. The only way to make these wings any better? With some made-from-scratch buttery biscuits, flavorful fixins, and freshly steeped legendary iced tea. So let the quarterback do the throwing, you do the winning. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Bojangles, it's bow time.
Oh, won't you hear me, people, when I say, well, let's all do something good today. Something good today.